Namaskara. Good evening. Today we are gathered to understand the meaning behind the 10th stanza of the Ashtotra. The shloka that Sri Appanacharya composed goes this way: Sarvatantra Swatantro Asau Sri Matva Matavardhanaha Vijayendra Karabjota Sudindravaraputtrakaha Sri Raghavendro Yatiraj Gurumme Syadhaya Bhayapaha Jnana Bhakti Suputrayuhu Yashasri Punyavardhanaha. This is the stanza that he composed. If we transliterate this to our spoken English that you and I are well versed in and we talk and communicate, the simple meaning is a very independent saint who is well learned, who goes on propagating the principles of Madhva, who is the blessed student of Saint Sudindra, who was a blessing of a lotus-like hand of Vijayendra. If you take the literary transliteration, this is what it means. But there is more to this Ashtotra. There is more to these 4 verses. They actually talk not only about Rayaru, they also talk about a prior incarnation of Rayaru when he was born as Prahallada. How does this connect? How does this interrelate? If you understand the verse, Sarvatantra Swatantro Su Asau. It's not Su, it's Asau. What Asau refers to is, in Sanskrit, Asau, he. When we say he, and you are talking about him, you are singing his glory. It is his Guru, Vandana, his way of preaching as a Guru, his worship of his Guru. When you're talking about he, him, his, we are prostrating and we are completely surrendering ourselves to our Guru, Sri Raghavendra Swami. When you say Sarva Tantra in Hindu culture, there are 64 forms of art. There is a Wikipedia page that talks about these 64 forms. And what Kala in Sanskrit means is it's a performing art. There are 64 of them. And if you think about somebody who has mastered all the 64 Kalas, that person is supposed to be called a Chatushashti Kalas. That is the name given to the person who has done this. In our Hindu culture, in our Hindu spirituality, Lord Shiva taught Sri Krishna and Sri Balarama the 64 Kalas. He taught them as a guru. He taught them and mentored them through the 64 Kalas. After that, Sarvatantra, the one who has mastered all those 64 Kalas, is our Guru, Sri Raghavendra Swami. Swatantra, Sarvatantra Swatantra. What is Swatantra? If you take the word Swatantra in Sanskrit, it literally means independent. No dependence on somebody. But there is something here that is hidden. What is hidden? What is hidden when Appanacharya composed this is that he says, our Acharya, he, Raghavendra Swami, independently mastered those 64 forms of Kala, the 64 forms of art, singing, dancing, paintings, dancing in water, playing instruments on water. And when you think of those, the list goes on and on and on. He did not have a guru who taught him that. He mastered it independently. Whereas when we say independent in Tattva, which is the Madhva Siddhanta, there is a verse. Swatantram aswatantram cha dvividham tattvam ishtayate swatantro bhagavan vishnuhu bhavabhavo dviti tarat. What that sentence in Tattva which Madhva wrote means is that everything can be classified into two categories. Lord Vishnu is Swatantraha, independent. Everything else depends on him. Things that exist as well as things that don't exist. And if I clarify this further, things that you and I can see with our eyes, hear with our ears, and things that we cannot see with our eyes, cannot hear with our ears, they all, including us, we're all dependent on that Sriman Narayana. So it should be stressed and learned, and that is the hidden meaning, and that is why we are having these discussions, is that the only thing that is truly independent in the universe is Lord Vishnu. When we say Lord Rairu is Sarvatantra Swatantra, so Sri Matva Matavardhanaha, he is somebody who has independently mastered those 64 art forms, and he is profound in spreading the word of Madhva through those 64 different art forms. Now comes the next half. This is where Apannacharya, when he composed it, prayed to Prahalada, prayed to every avatar of Raghavendra. Vijayendra Karabjota Sudindra Varaputrakaha. If you take Rayaru's Guru and Paramaguru, his immediate Guru was Sri Sudindra Tirtharu. Paramaguru, Sudindra Tirtharu's Guru was Vijayendra Tirtharu. Vijayendra Tirtharu was so soft and so lotus-like that when he blessed Rayaru, before Rayaru took sannyasa, he blessed him and he said, "You are Sudindra's Varaputrakaha," which means you are the blessed son of Sudindra. When will a sannyasi have a son? Only when another sannyasi accepts the sannyasa and becomes the disciple, does the sannyasi become somebody who has a Varaputraka. He is blessed with a blessed son. In literal terms, Apannacharya said, "Hey Rayaru, the three of you were so splendid as gurus that one with a lotus hand blessed you and handed you into the hands of another one who brought you in and gave you the guidance to figure out the aspects of what you needed to really accomplish. But in the real world, here is the hidden meaning that comes into this. Vijayendra, Vijaya Indra. Indra, the Lord of Devas, is very victorious when he actually defeats Hiranyakashipu in a battle. When Hiranyakashipu is not ruling the kingdom, Hiranyakashipu is meditating on Brahma, Indra goes and takes charge and fights against his army and he devastates them. Vijayendra. Then he looks around the palace and finds Hiranyakashipu's wife, who is then pregnant. Typically, Indra would be somebody who will take that woman and he will say that, "Hey, I have defeated your husband, now you are my slave," and he would just take her away with him. But in that particular instance, Narada Muni intervenes and tells Indra, "Hey Vijayendra, bless the child in this woman so that he will be able to receive Sri Hari's blessings." And Indra immediately realizes that he has to do that based on Narayana's saying through Narada, and he immediately blesses the child. Vijayendra Karabjota Sudindra Varaputrakaha. The great sage Narada was like Sudindra. Narada is a sannyasi, he is not married. How can Narada be blessed with a Varaputraka? Narada tells the complete glories of Narayana, and Prahalada listens to it, being in his mother's womb, close to 6 months, 5 months. And when he is born with the knowledge of Hari. So, in other words, our Guru Guru is so blessed that he has been having two great gurus of his who guided him in this life as Rayaru, and in his life as Prahalada. Indra blessed him, Narada taught him how to realize Hari. So that is the meaning of the 10th shloka. With that, we end the explanation of the shlokas for today's session.